David, you yourself are a shareholder of CMKM, and you actually filed your own lawsuit in November of 2009 against the SEC for aiding and abetting counterfeiting the stock market, as you said. Can you tell us about that suit? Where did you come up with the proof for that?
Well, we've done a lot of research. The shareholders as a group have done research themselves into CMKX, which led us to research the whole stock market. And we came across Operation Uptick, which was a sting operation that was conducted in 1999-2000. It identified about 200 companies that have been victims of counterfeiting of the stock market. It also identified Wall Street firms that were working with crime families to launder the money offshore. The only problem with that operation is that they didn't go after any Wall Street perpetrators. There was crime family members convicted of the crimes for aiding them, but the Wall Street firms all got off. And then you go into the CMKX sting, which is years later, and there's been no perpetrators going to jail for that sting either. And now, going forward to right now, they've counterfeited the bond market into the trillions, and now just recently came out that gold and silver's been counterfeited into the trillions as well, all by the same perpetrators, none of them going to jail.
And those perpetrators would be whom? The SEC and the government?
The SEC is listed as aiding and abetting the counterfeiting. So the SEC has aided and abetted the counterfeiting by also making rules that make it easy to counterfeit, but also by concealing the crime. One of the heads of the SEC was Annette Nazareth. She was the head of market regulation. She worked for Solomon Smith Barney. Some of them were the main culprits in the case Eagle Tech. Eagle Tech's important because actually crime family members went to jail already in their case. The people that they worked with all got off, and Annette Nazareth worked with them, including Bernie Madoff, who is the famous Ponzi scheme person. He just did get convicted, but he's worked for 13 years or 14 years and never bought a stock. He actually made the system with the SEC that allowed counterfeiting to happen.
Okay, now, David, can you tell me, as a shareholder, how directly have you been affected with this entire issue at CMKX?
Well, I mean, part of the problem with CMKX is that there's so many people that did due diligence and researched this stock that they knew that we had something. In a sense, it was like winning a lottery ticket when you know that you're going to get a good payout in the end. But now it's been years and years and years waiting and waiting. And the other issue is that we've been lied to by everybody, lied to by the SEC. I filed complaints with the FBI, RCMP, SEC. They all not only lied to us, but are very condescending to the general public. You know, in general, the SEC has lied to the public. And that's, you know, sad. They've lied and said that this crime was really nothing. It was just people that wanted their stocks to go up, when in fact they knew all along it could melt the whole market. It was trillions and trillions of dollars in counterfeit stock. By 2004, they knew that it was trillions. And in fact, a very famous paper was written by Leslie Bonney, given to the SEC, that showed that the failure to deliver in the market were strategic. So meaning strategic, they did it on purpose. After that, they grandfathered those shares, trillions of dollars of fake counterfeit shares, and allowed the perpetrators just to get off.
Now, what do you think the chances are in terms of this larger class action lawsuit that is worth $3.87 trillion, like you said? What are the chances of that actually succeeding, of you winning? Or, you know, could you still just be waiting and waiting and waiting to finally get your payoff?
Well, the scary thing is, when you go back to Operation Uptick, none of the companies that were victims got satisfied. They all actually became victims themselves of the SEC. So the shareholders of CMKX are a little bit nervous that we're not going to get our money. I mean, we've heard that the SEC and the government has at least 15 times told us we will get our money, and has yet to give it to us. So in the end, it is a little bit nerve-wracking waiting this long and knowing how corrupt the government really is.
And
but in the end,
sorry, go on.
Go ahead. I mean, in the end, you know, the taxes have been taken out of our money already, and April 15th is tax day in the United States. So there's a lot of rumors going around right now that we will be paid by April 15th, which is what we're all hoping. So we're not sure. We're just waiting and hoping, I guess.
Well, April 15th is just days away, and what I was going to say is, really, this story, this lawsuit, if this is all true, this is the largest fraud case in history, is what many people are saying, and yet, you don't hear about it on the media anywhere. Why do you think that is? Why is everyone so mum on this lawsuit in particular?
Well, I mean, we have a group of shareholders that have teamed together to put this story to every single paper in North America. Not one will run the story, really. Every single news agency has the story. I've been okayed to go on a show which I can't name right now due to we're still negotiating, but executive producers of a very famous show have said yes, but the CEO of the network has said no. I mean, General Electric sits on the board of directors of the New York Federal Reserve, who possibly is holding our money and who is in collusion with this crime, as many of the owners of the Federal Reserve are the same perpetrators that have gotten off. So you have General Electric owning CNBC, who knows all about this crime, who will not report it. So in fact, they're actually in collusion to hide this crime as well.
All right, David, I want to thank you very much for sharing your story with us. It's nice to hear from an actual shareholder that really has a vested and personal interest in this lawsuit, and we will continue to follow this story here on The Alona Show.